Okay, what the hell is happening in Antarctica? And I don't mean from the ecological point of view either. I've googled Antarctica and this is what I get. I get Wales, map of the world, which by the way, look at that. Look at the size of Antarctica and the size of what we know as the world. Antarctica isn't on most maps, you know. Check it out, it's incredible. There are some beautiful signs of snow. That looks like a dragon there, look at that. That looks like a mouth. Those look like nostrils. The reason I say what's wrong with what's going on in Antarctica is because I love YouTube. I'm on the internet all the time. I have a YouTube channel. I'm speaking to you through it now. I have no gods before it, but Antarctica is all over the interweb at the moment. Everybody seems to be going there, and it's a lot to do with this. Buzz Aldrin, the famous astronaut, Great Leap for Mankind and all of that, second man on the moon, went to Antarctica recently and tweeted, put out this strange tweet that, Antarctica is absolute evil and it's the source of evil itself, and then the tweet was removed, and so people are going, what the heck's going on here? And, obviously Buzz were the moon landing's fate. That's all tied into that, but this is really a separate thread. Let's have a look here. There's just something I pulled up here. Something is happening around Antarctica these days that is shrouded in secrecy, but also attracting a lot of heavy hitters. The visit to Antarctica by Patriarch Kirill, the head of the Russian Orthodox Church. He's a kind of the opposite number of the Pope. The church split into many different. You've got the Church of England. You've got the Russian Orthodox Church. Patriarch Kirill is the head of the Russian Orthodox, and I don't know how many people are under him, but quite a few, I would imagine, as in hundreds of millions, It says here Obama's going there to the place, the South American headquarters. Oh, well, hold on a second. That's a separate thread. Obama will be visiting the Nazi South American headquarters in Bariloche, southern Argentina. You can get lost in all of this, and a lot of conspiracy theorists tie all this together. What I'm going to do now, just for 5 minutes, is talk about what's happening in Antarctica. John Kerry's visited there recently, the American Secretary of State, on the day of the American election. If you remember Cameron going to the Antarctica, of course loads of people have been there, loads of famous people have been there, loads of world leaders have been there. And it's all tied in. It's all tied into this guy, Admiral Byrd. And this is where it gets creepy and freaky and weird, but it's also exciting at the same time. Check out this guy, Richard E. Byrd. Rear Admiral Richard Evelyn Byrd Jr., U.S. Navy, was an American naval officer who specialised in feats of exploration, according to Wikipedia. Born 1888, died 1957. Medal of Honor, Navy Cross, Distinguished Flying Cross, and more. This was a famous explorer that the American Navy sent to Antarctica to map and explore it. And this is where it gets really weird. And now Antarctica's been in the news recently on all the conspiracy theory websites, that there's something really, really weird going on there, and there's possibly some sort of they've discovered a lost civilization there, or there are aliens there, or God knows what's going on there. The general theory seems to be that they've discovered a lost civilization, which sounds utter madness, because the image we're presented with of Antarctica is this. Is it not? It's some kind of a wasteland of ice and snow. Apparently it's the most... it's drier there than any other desert, than any of the deserts on the Earth. There's less rainfall than anywhere on Earth, which is odd considering it's basically snow, basically water, frozen water. 90% of the world's fresh water is here. If it melts, which they're talking about with global warming, the sea levels could rise up to 70 meters. which means we're fucked. We're fucked. You know, the world, our civilization at this point in time, that's the end. That's the end of it. If we rise again, it might be in a geological age, i.e. millions of years. But that's a separate thread again. Now, everybody that is looking into the conspiracy theorists, for want of a better word, that are looking into civilizations on Antarctica, run square into this guy, Richard E. Byrd, Admiral Richard E. Byrd. I don't know how much to... but check this out. Right, check this out and tell me and then tell me what you think. The Inner Earth, My Secret Diary, Admiral Richard E. Byrd diary. By the way, the Russians are all up in this. The Russian patriarch, Putin, and all those people have been there as well. Okay, check out the diary. Check out the diary of this explorer, 1947. Preparations are complete. All preparations are complete for our flight northward, and we are airborne with full fuel tanks at 10:00 hours, 6:10 in the morning. Fuel mixture on starboard engine seems too rich, adjustment made, and Pratt Whitneys are running smoothly. They're engines from back in the day. Radio check with base camp, all is well and radio reception is normal. That carries on for a few moments. Then see what happens now, okay? Take bearing on the sun compass, all seems well. The controls are seemingly slow to respond and have a sluggish quality, but there is no indication of icing. In the distance there appear to be mountains. 29 minutes elapsed flight time from the first sighting of the mountains. It is no illusion. There are mountains consisting of a small range I have never seen before, encountering strong turbulence again. We are crossing over the small mountain range and proceeding northward as best we can ascertain. As best can be ascertained. Beyond the mountain range is what appears to be a valley with a small river or stream running through the central portion. There should be no green valley below. Something is definitely wrong and abnormal here. We should be over snow and ice. To the port side are great forests growing on the mountain slopes. This is an admiral of the American Navy. This is his diary, released in 1947 after he went there exploring Antarctica. Our navigation instruments are spinning, the gyroscope is oscillating back and forth. Okay, it is green with either moss or a type of tight-knit grass. The light here seems different. I cannot see the sun anymore. We make another left turn and we spot what seems to be a large animal of some kind below us. Check this out. It appears to be an elephant. No, it looks more like a mammoth. This is incredible. Yet there it is. Decrease altitude to 1,000 feet and take binoculars to better examine the animal. It is confirmed. It definitely is a mammoth-like animal. Report this to base camp. This is Antarctica. Okay? And remember, all our world leaders, so-called leaders of our land, are going there at the moment to check this stuff out. Encountering more rolling green hills now. The external temperature indicator reads 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Do you know what's just crossed my mind then? Dr. John Dee. The reason Greenland is called Greenland is because Queen Elizabeth I, one of the predictions, Dr. John Dee, who lived 3 miles from where I am, if not 2, in a house called Minority House, which is just over the other side of the hill from where I live. In fact, there's actually legends that he lived in a place called Conjurer's Drive, which I could literally throw a stone from my house to where Conjurer's Drive is. A friend of mine when I was a kid used to live there. Anyway, Dr. John Dee, the famous occultist, invented Enochion along with the other fellow, Edward Kelly. Anyway, the reason Greenland is called Greenland is because he discovered Greenland by occult means and for Queen Elizabeth I, and said that it would be her new empire. That's why it's called Greenland. Anyway, I digress. This is the guy. Look, it appears to be an elephant. No, it looks more like a mammoth. Okay. Decrease altitude to 1,000 feet and take binoculars to better examine the animal. It is confirmed. It definitely is a mammoth-like animal. Report this to base camp. Encountering more rolling green hills now. The external temperature indicator reads 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Very nice day. Continuing on our heading now. Navigation instruments seem normal now. I am puzzled over their actions. Attempt to contact base camp. Radio is not functioning. Countryside below is more level than normal, if I may use that word. Ahead we spot what seems to be a city. This is impossible. Aircraft seems light and oddly buoyant. The controls refuse to respond. My God, off our port starboard wings. This isn't a fake. This is an actual Admiral, Medal of Honor, proper Admiral in the American military Navy, his diary from 1947. Off our port and starboard wings are a strange type of aircraft. They are closing rapidly alongside. They are disc-shaped and have a radiant quality to them. They are close enough now to see the markings on them. It is a type of swastika. This is fantastic. Where are we? What has happened? I tug at the controls again. They will not respond. We are caught in an invisible vice grip of some type. Now, the Nazis were huge on going to Antarctica because they believed in the hollow earth theory. They went to Tibet. Tibetans, probably being wise, thought if we, let's get these guys into the mysteries of the world, it might calm down their lunacy a little as far as violence goes. And they spent a lot of effort, the Nazis, into exploring the world's mysteries and looking for the spear of destiny and exploring Antarctica. Swastika, who knows? I mean, the swastika isn't necessarily an evil sign. If I go upstairs to my bedroom, upstairs my bed is there, where my pillow is above my bed. There is a big picture of Ganesha, the Hindu god, and his emblem is a swastika. It's been around for a long time. Billions of people don't recognise it as not being evil. Anyway, that's besides the point. This is fantastic. Where are we? What has happened? I tug at the controls again. They will not respond. We are caught in an invisible vice grip of some type. It reminds me of that film. You've all heard of Shambhala. Let's get a picture back here of Antarctica. We've all heard of Shambhala, the mystical land talked of by the Tibetans. The plot from this Admiral Byrd's book, and it was a diary rather than a novel, reminds me of that film Shambhala, where there's this hidden beautiful valley where mystics and adepts live in perfect harmony with themselves and nature and never grow old and never age. And it's stumbled upon by some mountaineers by accident, and they have a choice: go back to the normal world and keep stum about it, or stay there but you can never leave. You can, but you can never tell them where it is, and if you leave you'll never be able to find the way back in. It reminds me of that film Shambhala. Now, are you intrigued? Because I bloody well am. I really am. Okay, our radio crackles and a voice come through in English with what perhaps is a slight Nordic or Germanic accent. Reminds me of Flash Gordon. The message is, welcome, Admiral, to our domain. We shall land you in exactly 7 minutes. Relax, Admiral, you are in good hands. I note the engines of our plane have stopped running. The aircraft is under some strange control and is now turning itself. The controls are useless. Now this is like a science fiction film. Another radio message received. We begin the landing process now, and in moments the plane shudders slightly and begins to descend as though caught in some great unseen elevator. The downward motion is negligible, and we touch down with only a slight jolt. I am making a hasty last entry in the flight journal. Several men are approaching on foot towards our aircraft. They are tall with blonde hair. In the distance is a large shimmering city, pulsating with rainbow hues of colour. I do not know what is going to happen now, but I see no signs of weapons on those approaching. I hear now a voice ordering me by name to open the cargo door. I comply. End of log. From this point, I write all the following events here from memory. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make this a two-parter. I'm going to add Admiral Byrd's log there, and I shall see you in part 2 of this mystery. Please join me, Willy Heads. I don't know about you, but I am utterly and completely intrigued.